As we welcome back to the desk our good buddy Brett Roske. It's time for Roske on Politics. Lots of stuff to get to.
Holy buckets. Do you know what's going on right now as we speak? Jeb Bush is giving a speech right now at the Iowa State Historical Society. Right now, it's apparently packed house. He's giving a speech right now, mere 2 miles from here. And former Congressman Patrick Kennedy, who I am going straight from here to interview him for the show, son of Ted Kennedy.
Yeah.
He is in town. He's at Drake doing a roundtable right now about mental health and addiction. So we're going to talk about that for the show. What's interesting about Patrick Kennedy, former congressman, when he retired in 2011, he was the last Kennedy to hold elected office since 1947. There's always been one. When he retired, that was the end of that stretch. So anyway, let's talk about what we're talking about today. Just last night, NASA did something very cool, and I don't always like to talk about here's another horrible thing in politics. Let's show some cool stuff.
Okay.
NASA released almost 10,000 photos yesterday of Apollo landings, etc. And let's take a look at a couple of here. They're just, you know, they're just snapshots, and the format is really interesting. It's one of these
Square,
one of these NASA cameras. It was one of the, you know, you could see them, the big NASA cameras. And what's really cool about NASA photographs, let's look at this last one. NASA photographs are technically public domain. Now, there are some rules, so if you look at the fifth one here, we can see, you know, you can
Put anything on there.
public domain. T-shirts and mugs available, but you can use, what's that? You want a T-shirt? Go on, what side? Craig wants a T-shirt. So anyway, yeah, they're very cool. So NASA, whenever you see a commercial that has like a shot of the Earth or something at NASA, it's technically public domain. It's one of the many benefits about being an American citizen.
So the thing that MTV used to use at the top of the hour?
I'm glad you brought that up. It's public domain.
And had
the Moon Man. Public domain. So they're like, heck, that's really expensive footage. Let's use that.
Might as well use it.
So anyway, so there's some fun news. NASA, go take a look. Some amazing photos, and a lot of it just crew members inside, and they're not the glitzy, glossy ones. It's like some of them are kind of like half a face and but 10,000, so take yourself a weekend and click through some photos. And you can download that one that I did. You can download the raw. I mean, it's a gigantic high-res picture, so thank you, NASA, for doing that. Let's talk about Syria and Russia.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. So, okay, thanks for putting the map up. So there's the Caspian Sea. Do you see right above Iran there, the Caspian Sea?
Yeah. Yep.
Below, obviously, Iran. Next to that, Iraq. Next to that is Syria. So I didn't grab it. But imagine, if you will, the bottom part of the Caspian Sea there. Imagine a little destroyer, a ship.
A little battleship.
So Russia last night from the Caspian Sea sent missiles 900 miles to Syria. Now, 900 miles away, imagine, they've never used this type of missile before. 900 miles away is almost from here to Washington, D.C.
Wow.
So what are they doing? What are they doing? They are bombing. What they are saying is that they're bombing ISIS. What our Secretary of State, some of the headlines here. Wall Street Journal, NATO condemns Russia bombings in Syria. The Guardian's headline, NATO to defend Turkey as Russia strikes Syria. So very complicated stuff. Russia is saying they're bombing ISIS and terrorist groups. John Kirby, State Department spokesperson, says 90% of the strikes have not been against terrorists. What the American government is saying is that Russia is bombing some of the moderates who are against the Assad regime, that in fact Russia wants to keep Assad in power. But so they say, Russia says their bombs from 900 miles away from a ship got within 9 feet of their target. But New York Times says, quote, it's not immediately clear whether they had struck in the area of their offensive. So, you know, some conflicting reports there. But anyway, so what's going on? You know, I watch Fox, I watch MSNBC. Last night, Rachel Maddow, she says, how important is this? How big a deal is this? She had Tulsi Gabbard on last night because, in fact, you know, NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, we're a part of it. Turkey's a part of it. Russia has been going into Turkish airspace to do some of these bombings. Yesterday was on a ship. So how far does this escalate? Is this a proxy war? Are we fighting? It
has a whiff of World War III to it.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
Let's hope not. But who's fighting for who? Who do you know, one of the big things 6 months ago was, are we going to arm the rebels against Assad? Well, then how do you say this is a good rebel group, this is al-Nusra Front?
What a mess.
Who's good, who's bad?
Right.
So that's what's going on right now. But the part that really stuck out to me was 900 miles away.
Yeah, you get hit the country you're aiming for.
Yeah. And but they're saying very very strategic. Next week we'll do an update and we'll tell you how good the okay, we got to get to a clip here. 900 miles away from here is Hagerstown, Maryland. Why is that city important? Because starting Sunday, the NBC in Hagerstown, Maryland will be broadcasting Roske On Politics.
Cool.
In the DC DMA. 6.1 million people live out there, so we're very grateful to them for picking up the show. So I wanted to show a clip from this first ever now expanded episode of the show. We were in DC filming with one of our favorite people, Ann Selzer, one of the best pollsters out there. Let's take a look at Ann and I from DC. Ann Selzer, one of the best pollsters on the planet. And here we are in DC. We've never actually seen each other outside of Iowa.
No, that's right.
Well, as you know, this is a special episode. This is the first episode of this programming airing out on the East Coast. This person was the first guest ever on the television version of Roske On Politics. So thanks as always for being on the show.
And congratulations.
Well, thanks. It's one step at a time. We'll see. Hoping for good stuff. So with you on the show, it bodes well. So let's talk about, so you just came out with a new poll, and it wasn't just who's winning, who's losing the presidential. You talked about some other stuff. How's America doing, etc. What'd you find out?
Well, you know, what we try to do when we poll is listen to what people are talking about, that is their way of explaining the election, and then go see if we can gather data that would explain it or not. So the two things that we took a special look at, one was Donald Trump's tagline, his motto, which is "Make America Great Again," and we wondered, well, do people think America is not great? So we offered up 4 choices and say it's greater than it's ever been, it's as great as it's ever been, it's falling behind, or it's failing. 72% said they thought it was either falling behind or failing.
Really?
Yes, I mean, those are just huge numbers, and it explains sort of the spark that Donald Trump has lit in terms of attracting people, because he's tapped into that mood. He says he doesn't have pollsters, but if he had a pollster, this is what he would be paying attention to.
That's interesting. Well, I'll definitely send this clip to him. So you think his tagline is right on the money?
I think it's right on the money.
Wow.
That it is both a recognition of people feeling that things are not where they want them to be, and an optimistic, let's get out of here, let's step up, let's push forward.
So that is the amazing, wonderful Ann Selzer. You'll see more of that Sunday. That was up on Capitol Hill. You're also going to see brand new stuff. Myself and Dr. Ben Carson, Governor Bobby Jindal, and Emma Dumaine from Roll Call. Roll Call is now the digital partner for Roske On Politics, and they will be posting the entire episodes as well as clips. They have been doing that for about a month, but they're going to start on Monday. They will be then posting the half hour. So very excited about the DC edition to the show. So this Sunday, it's on Channel 5 at 9:30. It's on this channel 11:30 and 19 at 5:30.
Perfect.
There you go.
You're getting to take over the planet.
One step at a time.
There it is. Good job, man. As always.
Thank
All right,
you.
buddy.